Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
So, first time with us and a first time storyteller. So, lots of love for Crystal. California Dreaming is actually in Maryland.
Oh, thank you. I am short, so. No worries. So in 2017 actually, I was married and had a 1-year-old son, and I was living in my basement, my parents' basement, with my husband at the time, hoping to save for a house here in Maryland, because I always thought that that's what my dream was. And it turns out that I am incredibly restless, and that was not at all what my dream was. So instead of buying a home, we decided to take all of the money that we saved and move to Long Beach, California, somewhere we had visited many times, loved the sunshine, loved our family and friends out there, and we thought we can really make this work. This is going to be the best. So 6 months later, we pack everything into an ABF truck, and we have it shipped out to Long Beach. And when we finally get there, I'm like, oh my God, welcome to like my dream. Many months in the making. I'm so excited. And my husband at the time went off to work as a truck driver all across California, and I stayed home with my son, hoping that I would find a job at some place that would have me. And I thought to myself, well, you have a master's degree, you've done plenty of work, your resume is not too bad, surely you'll find something soon. But 3 months later, I am sitting on the beach while my son is in daycare, and I am eating donuts, and I am weeping into my donut bag, and thank God that the donuts in California are fantastic. It's not like Dunkin' at all. But my friends are messaging me on my cell phone, and they're going, oh my God, I bet you love California so much. It's so beautiful, right? I'm like, it's so good, as I'm just weeping into my bag of donuts every day around 9:30. And I didn't want to say it, but I kind of hated California. It was very isolating. It was hard to meet people. It was the most segregated place I'd ever lived in outside of, compared to Maryland. Could not believe it. And I was wildly uncomfortable all the time. But I thought, maybe when I find a job, I will love it. And so I did. I found a job at this place in Huntington Beach at a private school with a price tag of $40,000 a year. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills children would attend. And I said, wow, I'm really out of place, but at least I have a job. And I come home to visit my mom, who has Parkinson's, and she says, oh my God, do you love it? And I said, to be honest, I miss you a lot. And also, I hate it. And I didn't want to tell her because I knew she would be like, I told you so. And she was, but in a very thick Puerto Rican accent. Crystal, I told you so. And I'm like, okay, you're right. She said, why don't you just look at a house while you're here? And so I did. I said, let me just look at a house to rent. And she said, if you want to rent this house, I'll help you. I go back to California. I tell my husband at the time, and he's like, I can tell you hate it here, even though I love it. Let's move back home. So instead of living my California dream, I decided to figure out my exit plan. I called my best friend, who was my boss previously, and the job I had before moving to California, and I said, hey girl, I hate it. She said, that's great, your old position just came open. And I said, oh wow. She said, we'll have an interview on Monday. My 5-minute interview for my old position consisted of them going like, hey, when can you start back? And I said, oh, that's so great. And so I did. I took my old job back. I moved back home to the day that I left for California. And all along the way, there were many signs that were, they say the devil gets busy, right? There were so many things that tried to thwart my plans to come back home. And still, everything landed exactly where it was supposed to be. I decided to move super close to my job. I got my old position back with a little bit more money. My kids were happy to be back around their friends and their family again. I did end up divorced a couple of years later, and that's totally fine, and it had everything to do with us moving to California when we probably shouldn't have, but I also consider that a win. On the other side of it. Thank you. And I think that when it comes to luck, I'm very much a woo-woo girl. I thought at the time while I was going to church and praying and begging for something to shift and something to change. The irony is that now I would absolutely not identify as a churchgoer, but more as a witch. And I think that either way, luck finds you no matter where you are, and that sometimes I don't really know what's best for me. The universe tends to know what's best for me, and I consider myself very lucky that I am not making my decisions all by myself, because sometimes things just work out the way they're supposed to. So.